I would now like to call upon Madiha Changezi, one of the youth in our community, to share some words and insight with us.
Tena koto, tena ratato katoa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for this opportunity to honor the legacy of Baba Mazari. Today, we gather to remember a name carved in our history stone. We gather to remember a fire that burned in the heart of a man who refused to bow. A flame that even death could not extinguish. Baba Mazari was not just a leader. He was a dreamer who lived not for power, but for justice. For centuries, our people have walked the earth like shadows, hunted by tyranny, their voices drowned in the tides of history. The Hazaras, born in the mountains, children of the highlands, have seen their homes burned, their bodies pierced, their dreams buried. But even in exile, even in the cold embrace of foreign lands, the chains of oppression have followed us. Yet Baba Mazari refused to accept his fate. He did not believe in silence, nor in surrender. He did not believe that history was written by those who wielded swords. He believed it could be written by those who held truth. His fight was not against men. It was against cruelty. It wasn't against nations. It was against injustice. He dreamed of a world where no Hazara child would fear the night, where no Hazara mother would wail over the lifeless body of her son, where no people would be treated as less beings simply because of their heritage. And yet, our struggle continues. Our communities continue to be torn apart by bombs and bullets. We continue to be turned into ghosts, stripped of our rights, our names, our humanity. Across the world, Hazara refugees knock on doors that never open, trapped between the lands that reject them and the lands that once belonged to them. But even after all of this, we stand, we endure, we resist. Baba Mazari rejected revenge, though he had every reason to seek it. He rejected division, though he had every reason to distrust. He knew that hatred only breeds hatred, that the only path forward was that of unity, of justice, of recognition that people should not kneel before another. And for this vision, he was betrayed. And it is impossible not to mention Baba Mazari's advocacy for women's rights. At a time when women were erased from history, when their dreams were caged behind walls, Baba Mazari stood firm and declared that a nation cannot rise if its daughters are kept in chains. He said women are the backbone of our society. If we want a strong and just nation, we must empower our daughters, our sisters, and our mothers. He saw the power of Hazara women, their resilience, their wisdom, their unbreakable spirit. He knew that a people could not claim to fight for justice while leaving half of their own population in the shadows. He fought for their right to education, to leadership, to independence, because he understood that the liberation of women was the liberation of a nation. He did not just speak of their rights. He entrusted women with responsibilities, with leadership, with the power to shape their communities. He believed that a society that silences its women silences its own future. And yet, unfortunately, his dream is not fully realized even today. In the lands he fought for, women are still silenced. Their steps are still heavy with the weight of oppression. Their education is stolen, their ambitions caged, their voices muffled. But if Baba Mazari taught us anything, it is that dreams do not die. They wait for hands strong enough to carry them forward. So, to the women of our people, let's not wait for permission to rise. Let's keep walking, keep speaking, keep leading. But those who challenge the darkness often pay the highest price. In March 1995, Baba Mazari was betrayed, captured, and executed by the Taliban. They thought they had buried him, but from his sacrifice, a movement grew. His blood was meant to drown us in despair, but instead it watered the seeds of resistance. His death was meant to erase him. But today, his name stands taller than those who took his life. Baba Mazari did not leave us with wealth or titles. He left us with a duty. A duty to stand tall even when the ground beneath us trembles. A duty to fight, not with hatred, but with knowledge. A duty to remember that we are not just the children of mountains, but we are the children of resilience, of dignity, of a legacy written in sacrifice. And the world may try to forget us, but we will not forget ourselves. We will not bow, and we will not break. So I ask you today, are we honoring his dream? Are we carrying his fire? Are we standing not just for ourselves, but for all those who suffer injustice? So let's continue to learn, to speak, and to rise. And let's be the voice that cannot be silenced and the light that cannot be dimmed. Thank you very much.